Now, while BlackBerry devices are still more popular in South Africa than most of the world, it's fast being overtaken by other smartphone offerings, and the popular BIS service is slowly being phased out across the globe, something that educational content producer Mindset Network has expressed concern about. To explain these concerns, I'm joined by Johan Els, Chief Operational and Technical Officer at Mindset Network. Welcome, Johan.
Thank you.
Now, before we get to the BlackBerry saga, the South African educational system has changed a lot over the last 20 years. We've had Curriculum 2005, which has been tweaked left, right and centre. We have the new CAP system, but there is one constant, and that's the role of technology. How important is this in the educational landscape?
Without addressing the learning limitations within the schools, technology fills the gap, and getting that content and learnings to those children is the most important thing that needs to happen.
Now let's talk about what I mentioned in the intro, BlackBerry. So we know that they're slowly phasing out with their new models, the BIS system, which is a flat rate with these services that you can get, including BBM and accessing the internet for a flat rate. This is slowly going away. How is this going to affect the average South African learner who has a handset?
Well, all the parents have been buying BlackBerries simply for those reasons. So a spin-off of that was the fact that they could then get access to good content like from Mindset Network, where everything we do is on our website, and kids can get access to videos, they can get access to PDFs, and they can actually enhance the learning that they might not be getting, or a lot of the revision content. So now with that phasing out, when especially children have to pay for something, what will be the first choice? Are they going to go pay for their own education, or are they going to use their 20 rands worth of bandwidth and actually go to Facebook? So it's a concern. How do we address it? Don't know. All
right. Well, the makers of BlackBerry is a multinational corporate, and they're obviously strategizing to catch up with the likes of Apple, with the likes of Samsung. If BlackBerry were to disappear from our racks tomorrow, I mean, what are some of the possibilities? What are some of the options? How we can still make this a priority, but not necessarily reliant on BIS or on BlackBerry?
Well, the only way we can possibly address this is by looking at the networks. The networks are going to have to start looking at some of these services on the internet are needed for society, for the enrichment of the country, and they're going to have to start looking at zero rating. If that doesn't fill the gap, then the next option is probably Wi-Fi deployments into certain areas, giving access to Wi-Fi, which the metros are looking at.
We've seen it slowly in the likes of Stellenbosch and some of the rural areas in Gauteng.
Exactly, but those are still only covering city centres where there's high concentration of people, but not really where those learnings are necessarily needed. So government intervention is probably going to be the only way, because corporate doesn't necessarily see the urgency for doing zero rating services.
They see the bottom line.
They see the bottom lines, and they've got investors. I mean, they've got listed companies, they've got shares to look after, and sometimes they're getting raps for things that are not their fault. It's not always there. They're a company that are set there to make money. So anywhere that they're going to start giving money away without taking into account the shareholders, it's going to have effects. It's going to have spin-offs. So it's probably a combination either between the networks coming up with a solution or government intervention.
So for networks listening out there, we need this, please. Now, Johan, the mindset journey has come quite a long way. You are available on various platforms, on digital, on the mobile phone, which we know 70% of all Africans access the internet through that.
Correct.
Why are you so passionate about education, and what is Mindset trying to accomplish in South Africa?
Mindset, as Nelson Mandela opened us the first television channel in 16 July 2003, and in his speech there said was actually to use satellite technology to reach anybody everywhere, even if you want to do learning in a shack in the township, is that to get your content to you. Obviously the landscape has changed, so satellite television is not only the only solution, even though Mindset Network is represented on all the satellite platforms currently in the country. It's expanding. That passion is to actually get it to where it's needed. That's the bottom line. If a child wants to review mathematics in preparation for exam, they need to get to that content, be able to review it, hopefully at one day get access to a teacher or somebody to help them on the other side. That's expanding into the social media work we're doing. We're very active on Facebook. We've built a community around children that can help each other. There's a lot of teachers and learners, educators in that community that also assist at their own. Nobody's charging. It's free, it's service, and we build those communities as we go along.
Johan Els, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And finally, with the fight against rhino poaching, a cause close to many African hearts, it's good to know that technology can help this. RODIS is a project that was initiated by the University of Pretoria in order to collect DNA samples of rhinos across the country. The goal is for all rhinos to be taken onto the system, and thanks to a new app called eRODIS, this has become much easier to do.